Wednesday, February the 25th, 2026. We're almost in March. Years flying by. And we've got a pretty decent day today. That's why I'm out. 16 degrees forecast. Wind chill makes it around 13, however. And I'm in Berkhamstead, Hertfordshire. Not far from me actually, but still takes an hour and a half, hour 40 to get here, because you have to go into London and come out again. However, today's Saturday Walkers Club walk is around 10 miles, 9.5 officially, but I always seem to do a bit more. And it's a combination of walking alongside the Grand Union, cross fields, bit of woodland, so a decent mixed walk hopefully. Plenty of bird song around, I've noticed locally at home, so hopefully we'll start to hear and see more birds now. This is swcwalk 397. I have walked to Berkhamstead previously from Tring many moons back, and that walk could actually do with a rewalk, thinking about it, but it's 13 miles and obviously requires longer daylight. Anyway, 11:30 now, about 4 hours walking time. Let's crack on, see what the walk's like. So just opposite the station you've got the remnants of Berkhamstead Castle. Google that for more on its history. Not a lot to see over there really. Okay, about 3 minutes after leaving the station, we're now down by the Grand Union. I say is extremely high today. As you can see here, it's been overflowing onto the towpath. Information panel here about Berkhamstead, hub of transport. Interesting totem pole over there as I am stood very close to the Crystal Palace pub. Braunston 61 from here. Very famous junction on the Grand Union. Got the town church over there. Berkhamstead has a population of around 18,500 apparently. Stood by the first lock of the day. Passing the second pub of the day already, the Boat. The port of Berkhamstead tells you something about its past. Modern houses alongside the canal now, and as with the last walk up in King's Lynn, I bet they struggle for insurance. And the third pub, the Rising Sun. So as you can see, this is part of the Grand Union Canal Walk. Crossed over the canal and following a path on the right with the railway just behind these houses. So God knows how they put up with the noise, because they're quite frequent. And as you can hear in the background, the robins are particularly happy today. First mile lit down at this point. Moorhen over there. It's getting more tranquil and rural now as I move away from Berkhamstead. However, on my right I can hear traffic noise. That gives you an indication of the age of this canal, certainly this lock anyway, which is bottom side lock 57. The overflows next to the canal are certainly brim full as well. Some of these locks appear to be in a poor state of disrepair. I guess they're doing their job though, somehow. Yeah, see there, overflowing. I haven't actually seen any vessels moving yet, they've all been moored. You can just make out the River Bulbourne over there on my right, and where I commented on the overflow streams earlier, they are in fact old watercress beds apparently, so reflecting the chalk based river, no doubt. Just past bridge 145, and it's interesting to note that wherever you get these permanent moorings, you tend to get a lot of rubbish dumped in the hedgerow. Again, what are the Canal and Waterways Trust doing? Or whatever they're called. Lack of enforcement. Bulbourne is much closer now on my right. So we now leave the canal just by bridge 146. The old Canada geese over there. Open country a bit more here as well. So like I say, do a right here. Looks like we've just left a section of the Hertfordshire Way. Passing the appropriately named Cress Farm, reflecting its past glories. Not the clearest of chalk streams I've seen. Tranquility is disturbed now as we have to do a bit of walking alongside a busy road, I believe. Now ascending Sugar Lane, which brings me to the heights for today. Amazingly, we started at 300 foot and ascend to a lofty 553 at some point on the walk. Probably near lunch, I should imagine, at Ashley Green. Now following a leafy tree tunnel, and as the countryside opens up, you've got a noisy dual carriageway down on my left. So it's the busy A41 that I can hear down in the valley there. Just seen my first brimstone of the season, butterfly. Amazing, the warm weather brings them out. Yet tomorrow it could be cold and damp again. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. Hopefully you can hear that skylark above the traffic din. Lark ascending. Wonderful. I suppose he's having to sing at the top of his voice because of the traffic noise. Won't get a mate otherwise. Not that that's the reason why he's singing presently. Plenty of flints and what have you in the soil here. Poor little shrew, I think it is. Been run over by a bike by the looks of it. Didn't stand a chance. So we now take footpath 56 here through this kissing gate, right smack bang next to the A41. Then thankfully we have an underpass. Decent vista, save the power lines. A little bit of gorse is nice. Ignore the gate here, follow the finger post right to Bottom Farm. Decent tree house. And very good use of solar panels over there, look at that. That's how it needs to be done, Milliband. Not ruddy acres and acres of panels out in the fields, losing our precious agricultural land. Absolutely shocking. Okay, I'm stood outside the granary. Text refers to a 3-arm finger post, but I don't see one. I'm turning left anyway. Right here. Looks like this woodland on my right may have a few bluebells in season. There's a small stream at the bottom of the woodland, the Bulbourne Gutter, or the Bourne Gutter, sorry, which leads into the River Bulbourne. Skylarks everywhere up here, wonderful. Not sure if that's Hemel in the distance. Just reached Kenmore Farm. Where we take this lane to Whelpley Hill Farm. And a barking dog in the distance. Section by Whelpley Hill Farm, really churned up and damp. Horses as usual. Now approaching Sales Farm on the map, where we take a right. Voila. So this is seriously dilapidated, destroyed by hooves, horse hooves. Luckily it didn't rain last night, but even so it is very damp. By contrast, you come out onto a flinty section, which I'd imagine the horses don't like. It's quite slippery and loose. At this juncture we continue on through the gate, passing the tree, not right with the bridleway, thankfully. About 440 foot here. Ashley Green ahead. The style of the day, and what seems to be a bit of a traipse across a field ahead. Yeah, it looks like someone has marked out the path ahead past the pylon. Skylarks everywhere, lovely cacophony. But as is usual with the Chilterns, which is where we're at, too manicured for me. Now on Ashley Green, which has an interesting covered seat there. Church is just in front of me though, that's where I'm headed. Past the War Memorial, God rest their souls, and into St John the Evangelist. Hopefully there'll be a seat in the cemetery aspect of it. Apart from that one, which isn't very attractive, there isn't. And there's some stonemasons around the back making a bit of a din, so I'll go back on the village green. After I've been inside, mind. Well, I won't go inside because it's locked. Difficult to get a good shot of as well. Got the sun against me there, look, as you can see. So that one there will do, with a bin. Church just opposite. So that's probably about as good a shot as I'm going to get. So coming up 3 o'clock, lunch has been had. Thanks to the Women's Institute for providing the seat. And whilst having lunch I noticed the old vicarage just behind me. Lovely Gothic looking building. Hound of the Baskerville, not the Hound of the Baskervilles, the 101 Dalmatians type property, I feel. So at this point we're about 6 miles into the walk, so 3.5, 4 to go. And as I say, it's coming up 3 o'clock now. The recommended lunchtime pub, the Golden Eagle. Covered outdoor seating. Continues through this kissing gate immediately at the back of the pub. R.I.P. John Baldry. Hockeridge Wood ahead of us. Okay, I'm now at the juncture of paths where you can go left here into Pancake Wood and do the full woodland walk, which I intend doing, or you could go straight on and considerably reduce the walk, or certainly the wooded section, which for me is the highlight of the day really. Nice mixed woodland here, and I notice the trees are marked up as well. That's good. Little bench over there. Memory of Ron Edwards. Quite a sterile wood though. Not much bird song. Just a robin at the moment. And we're coming up to the time of day when the song thrush should be singing. Let's see. Information panel here about the woods. Just crossing over a minor road behind me to get into Pancake Wood. Self-explanatory. Now that chaffinch is quite a rare sight at the moment. A lot of them have been stricken by a virus that they're getting from bird tables. People are using cheap bird food and then not cleaning the bird table afterwards. All the other feeders, the nuts, the seeds, etc. And these poor little fellas, along with greenfinches, seem to be suffering. So for those of you with bird tables, I bet you've seen a decline in the chaffinch, particularly. I haven't seen one for a long time, so it's good to see this chap. Gone. I wonder if the fungus explains why it's called Pancake Wood. Should have read the information panel really, shouldn't I? Could follow this fire break on my right for a further shortcut to rejoin the path, or continue following the main path around as I'm doing. As had just flown over, mewing. Lovely new plantation here. Looks like birch mainly. Some oak in there as well. And some more uplifting gorse. So for the most part today I've been using the walk notes, but in this woodland it's far more accurate, I find, to use the GPX track. So far so good. I noticed some horses ahead, as this is a pretty wide track through the woodland now. So there we go, Norway spruce. Other information panel, the same one actually, but in a different location. Doesn't mention anything about the Pancake name. Little picnic area opposite as well. And I'm branching off here, doing a left. And again, it looks like there will be bluebells in season. So this could be a good walk for that time of year. To reach Hockeridge bottom on the map, and at that four-armed finger post, we're continuing up the hill opposite towards the house, over another stile as we leave the woods into a Christmas tree plantation. Yeah, I rarely see deer in these parts actually, referring back to it being sterile. So this is Christmas Tree Place apparently. Young trees growing ready for next Christmas. I've only just had this one, or so it seems, albeit it's March next week. Start of meteorological spring, which I don't recognise. I still stick with the old solstices and equinoxes. Okay, after crossing the A41 behind me on a bridge, luckily, take this stile, enter the woodland immediately next to the A41 again. We're now crossing over the grounds of Berkhamstead School, 1541. Wish I could be like David Watts, Eton rifles and all that. Sup up your beer and collect your fags. My goodness. Look at that. They've even got partridge in here. And only a private school would have partridge in the grounds. again at the full range of the camera there, and I am trialling a handheld stabiliser as well, so it's still a bit rocky down on Berkhamstead. One final view of the canal prior to arriving at the station. So that's it. SWC 397 completed. Berkhamstead Circular. 3 hours 59. 9.65 mile. And very decent walk that was. Weather was fantastic. Just the right temperature for walking as well. Very little breeze. The odd puff of wind. Paths were good, apart from the bits that I highlighted where horses had been. But otherwise, yeah, nice varied walk that one. Would be good in the bluebell season, I reckon. So that's it for this week. Next one obviously will be in March, early March I should hope. Fingers crossed for the weather. Till the next time.